Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay and this is my YouTube channel, Rented Space. I live in coastal New South Wales with my husband and our 3 teenage children, 1 boy, 2 girls, so they keep us both pretty busy. We rent a house on acreage. Now we only rent the house and a small bit of land. The owner occupies the remainder of the 250 acres with his cattle. So we do get the benefits of listening and watching out those cattle grow. We get weaners every year and then they go off, they get fed up on the paddocks behind us and then go off. We have been living here for a few years now. When we first got here, the place was pretty overgrown. There are hedges outside, which I will show you later on in different videos. But the hedges and the grass were up, windows. There was garden beds that were completely not garden beds. And everything was pretty feral. There is a lot of weeds here. So obviously when they've built it, they've put in gardens that are mostly bamboo, privet, wandering dew, some other American firebush and a whole heap of other stuff. There are fruit trees here, so we have a small orchard. There is 2 orange trees, 2 lemon trees, a mandarin tree, 2 peach trees, but only one's actually produced, and this is the first year it's produced fruit. We have a fig tree, macadamia tree, and first year ever, the mulberry tree has actually fruited this year, first time ever, so that's a bit exciting. We have, after we've gone through drought, in the time we've been here, we've gone through drought, fires and floods. So we've had pretty much every kind of weather you can imagine. My husband and I both work full time. Our eldest son, our son, he also works full time as a spray painter. And our 2 girls, our eldest daughter is currently finishing Year 12 through TAFE. With everything that's going on, we just found that TAFE was probably a better spot for her. She got to do Year 11 and 12 in 1 year, opposed to doing it over 2 years at an actual school. That's what suited her best, so that's where she is. And our youngest goes to one of the local high schools. I hope to show you a lot about our farm. My family will join us in videos here and there. The girls are probably a little bit more camera happy than maybe our son, but that's okay. There are things that I've done already that I will only be able to show you what has been done, but you know, we will go from there. So I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not the best gardener in the world, but I definitely have fun trying. I did have a vegetable gardens when we used to live back in central New South Wales. We moved up to coastal a few years ago. Before we had the best of the bush, it was great, but if we wanted to go swimming, the beach was a long way away. Now we are best of both worlds. We live in the bush, but the beach is half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes depending on which beach you want to go to, as there are many around here we can go. My husband and I are slowly trying to get the yard undergo. Probably more so me. I like that. I'm the one who's the avid gardener. He just kind of plods along and does what I ask for him. And so there are a few videos. Most of them at the moment are still short. I'm still getting used to this, so please bear with me. I don't pretend that I know everything, but there are things that have worked for me in the past. Things that I want to do is tips and tricks in a rented place. When you rent places, you can't change stuff. You have to go by what's here. So, you can't put in a garden bed. You can't just whack in a veggie garden because you feel like it, because ultimately you have to then move on and the owner's not going to be appreciative if you've done that. So most of my vegetables will be grown in pots. I will be doing some ways of actually saving money. By doing so, I will try and show you different ways to grow vegetables and in different potting circumstances, and we'll see how we go. I want to do some reviews and things like that, but honestly, I just want to be able to get out in the garden and have fun, and this is my way of forcing myself to be accountable of what I want. Water at the moment is spring, but it has been hot. and they are expecting it to be a pretty high fire season. My husband and I are both in the local RFS brigade, so you know, we are also busy, will be busy I should say, during the summer months with that. We do have a few total fire ban days coming up, so it's going to be interesting to see how we go. But we will be still getting there, buying water, doing all the fun things that you do on a farm. Vegetables, I'm going to be replanting some garden beds. We've got to fix a water tank, so I'm going to try and get a video into that. We are probably going to, we've got 2 pumps. We did have our dam that feeds water to the house. It's no longer working. That was for our toilets. We also had a tap that was dam water that we could water the fruit trees and things with. Unfortunately, during the drought, the dam dried up, so we had to convert to tank water to flush toilets and do all our garden watering. And when it got dug out, during the drought, before it broke and the dam filled back up with water, we did have someone come and dig it out. The owner did, I should say, not us personally. The owner got it done. And they've actually somehow, it looks like maybe they've pulled the pipes out, so there is no dam water anymore. But my husband and I are going to try and fix that, because ultimately I don't want to be buying a tank of water to flush it down into the septic, nor do we want to be, you know, always watering the garden. Especially, it's okay for the fruit and veg, we want the fresh water, but when it comes to the other trees, that, like I said, I'm going to be planting and stuff into the actual garden bed that is a flower bed, I don't want to be using our expensive town bought water. So we're going to try and fix that up, but there will be things around. Now, the reason why I have named this channel Rented Space is purely because even when you own a place, you often have to rent a space. You know, a lot of people live in smaller houses these days, which means maybe they don't have enough room in their house, so they'll rent a storage shed. Or they're in between houses, you know, especially with everything that is going on the last 2 years. A lot of people are moving from where they were to somewhere new, and in that case, they're in that. There are also, like I said, we've gone through drought and fire and floods here, so the fires actually took down a lot of houses, which left people homeless. And then after that, we've also had a lot of people who had their houses flooded out. So again, there is a major house shortage. So a lot of people either are living in caravans, living in sheds, living with family, trying to get rental accommodation, and they've just got their stuff in rented accommodation or storage sheds. And so even if you do own your own home, you know, you might be like me, a sewer. I love to sew. I don't have a sewing room, so I rent space on my dining table, and quite often I overtake that sewing table and it might stay there. The dining table may turn into my sewing table for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes a month at a time. If I've got a small project, not so bad. If I have a big project, well, it sits there until I finish it, which means we don't have a dining table. So that's another way of renting space. So there are lots of ways of renting space, and I'm trying to help everyone make a home in areas that, you know, seem a little small or a little uncouth or whatever the case may be. So please have fun, enjoy my channel, and give me comments, like feedback, anything you particularly want to see. I want to hear it. So thanks very much, and look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.